A trading company, you're going to not be taxed on every single transaction, which is great, but it's always short-term capital gains. You never get the benefit of long-term capital gains if you structure it as a trading company. If you structure it as a holding company, and again, you're not making that many trades, you're going to get the benefit of long-term capital gains. So if you've invested in this asset class for more than a year, specifically here in the U.S., other jurisdictions have different time frames and amounts of taxes that you're going to owe, but 15 to 20% on the tax rate. And I'm hopeful, just like everybody else, that there's no taxes on crypto, right? Like, I will be elated if that takes place, but I got to live in the paradigm and the rules of the road that exist today. So, and you might say, okay, well, if it's just for taxes, I don't need it. Well, like we talked about before when we first started, creditor protection's a big deal. You want to make sure that you have anonymity when you're participating in things. You can still pay yourself out of the LLC. You still control the assets. You get passed through taxation through an LLC. You could file as an S corp. You do have to pay yourself a reasonable salary once it starts producing revenue, and that's somewhere between $50,000 and $70,000 a year is what you have to pay W-2 taxes on, or self-employment tax. Anything else above that can be paid out as dividends out of the corporation. You need that structured in your operating agreement the right way. Make sure you have provisions on what cadence you're going to be taking money out of the company, how that works if you have other minority owners on the cap table, blah, blah, blah. You should work with an attorney to structure, your operating agreement. The other thing I would say about the operating agreement that we do very different than other people is we have specific considerations and language around digital assets in the operating agreement, the security of it, governance around it, the legal component there in Wyoming. There's legislation that's very beneficial for digital assets. All of that's curated in the language that we have as one of the verticals that you can invest in when it comes to this LLC that manages alternative investments.